I'm going to be presenting on managing work and attraction at work. But before we begin, let us just watch a short clip.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love.
I know. Am I recording?
So happy
Is this recording?
If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, then ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
Okay, so as seen from the above clip, office romances are actually rather common these days. However, what is often overlooked is the complexities that it brings to the parties involved as well as the managers. Attraction here is not limited to just physical attraction but encompasses other types of attraction such as attraction to one's knowledge or charm, while intimacy is also not narrowly defined. Here it can mean an intimate relationship at work can be platonic or romantic, sexual or non-sexual. So now, while feeling attracted to another may be a positive and stimulating experience, it can also have some negative responses for others which may be quite problematic. For example, some people may feel frustrated when they are unable to decipher the other party's feelings, confused when one is unable to decide whether to act upon his feelings, and vulnerable when he feels like his actions may give him away. So all these whirlpool of emotions generate a lot of anger and resentment and self-loath, which can eventually lead to one avoiding confronting his emotions. There are also several fears associated with expressing attraction, and for example, the first would be the fear of having one's intentions being misunderstood by the other party, the fear of soiling close working relations, the fear of losing control of the situation and being compelled to act upon his feelings even when a person is not ready to do so. And lastly, there's a fear of creating a political fallout or rift within the office because of the tensions that these expressions may generate. So this all leads to the big question of whether to get closer or maintain a distance. So one may decide to keep a distance when he or she has a strong desire to keep his work and love life separate. The fear of being slapped with a lawsuit for sexual harassment and being the center of office gossip may also lead to one keeping a distance. On the other hand, one may decide to get closer, and this depends on a person's need for intimacy with another, and this can be seen through the degree of self-disclosure that means the amount of personal information he reveals with another, the amount of shared activities and interactions he has with the other, and the degree to which these activities and interactions occur at work. Power is also an important determinant in deciding whether to get closer. For example, a boss may feel like he has more control of the situation should things get out of control in the workplace as compared to someone who is of lower authority level.
Okay, so there are several issues to consider when one is in an intimate relationship. One would be balancing work with intimacy. The ability to strike a balance between the two would lead to increased synergy and better business relationship where people are able to think together, communicate effectively, share thoughts and ideas freely, thereby increasing the quality of work. However, the inability to do so would result in a conflict between work self and intimate self. When one is dating his subordinate, he might find it difficult to separate his position as an impartial superior with that of a loving boyfriend. And being in an intimate relationship also increases your vulnerability both towards others as well as the other party. Firstly, when two people are in a relationship, intimate details are likely to be exchanged between them. And when both are on good terms, there's nothing to worry about. But there's no guarantee that the other party will choose to divulge something personal about you which you probably wish to be kept secret. Adding to that, it is unavoidable that you will also be vulnerable to outsiders in a relationship. In other words, your colleagues. Because office gossip is always present, it increases your vulnerability when the relationship occurs in the workplace. This is especially true for women, which is partly aggravated by TV dramas where you see beautiful ladies in drama rising up to managerial positions by beating their bosses. Such gossips disempower and belittles a woman's achievement more than men. So, and as with any relationship, changes, we encounter changes, and dealing with the changes when both parties work closely increases its complexity. However, the change in the relationship affecting one depends on how deeply involved and how committed one is. Because it occurs in a workplace, these changes will have personal as well as organizational implications. A man can destroy the relationship when he a man can destroy his relationship he has with his best partner at work, a female, when his effort to sexualize the close relationship is not reciprocated. More often than not, the woman feels insulted and backed out of their intimate work relationship, which used to work positively for them. In addition, there is a limit to the level of intimacy when one is working for the other instead of working together. The level of intimacy is limited by the division in personal investment in a particular project. So I'll now move on to implications.
So to conclude both Estee's and Denise's point, intimacy at work does have its pros and cons. Affecting both individuals and organization, we feel that proper managing of work relationship is very important. Hence, it is actually crucial to understand the emotions of the parties involved in order to better handle such situations. Of course, one can totally omit all these relationship issues and not have all these problems. But are you actually performing at your best? Are you sure that there are no more room for development, both personally and professionally? From this article, it is obvious that you are missing out. So in order to manage intimacy well, both the individual and the company must work together. Organizations must learn to develop a consensus regarding closeness among their members in order for intimacy to work well, both for the company and for themselves. Things like active participation, open conversation, internal training programs to make employees more sensitive to their surroundings, and skill building workshops can also help develop their analytical skills for better judgment on issues both personal and professional. With all these in place, I believe that intimacy will work well both for you and your company. So to actually better illustrate this point, let me share